and starting off our day with another T1. Welcome to the joy of trucking. We're in Kentucky. Nice job on the mud flap, don't you think? Round 2, but I'll have Kevin talk to you about that.
Well, as you might notice, I wasn't looking too happy by the time we got out of there. We had gotten our T1 servicing done, and it took 4 hours, which doesn't make me happy. That's 4 hours I could have been driving and making money. CRETE asked the drivers to take care of the T1 servicing on their trailers, which they require every 120 days. So it's easier to have the driver stop off and do it somewhere than to have the trailer pulled off the road at a terminal and their mechanics do it, which is what I experienced at Werner. So I can understand how it's a lot more convenient to get the trailer serviced while they're on the road, even under load. But to have the drivers do it, that means that it takes time out of the driver's day while he's trying to make money. And CRETE does not compensate you for that. They will give you a quarter point. In other words, in their safety program, you get points against you, or you can chalk up points in your favor. So by doing 4 T1 trailer services, you get 1 good safety point. However, 4 hours sitting there at a service bay really took a toll on my patience. So let's see what happened, because you know, these things are all learning experiences, right? The T1 trailer service that CRETE requires every 120 days involves a DOT inspection by a licensed mechanic and periodic maintenance on the trailer. Lubrication, right? And they check the tires, they check the brakes, check the lights, all that kind of thing. But it has to be done, the inspection has to be done by a licensed mechanic. That's key. So in orientation, they told us about the T1 being done every 120 days and that the drivers might be asked to do it. They didn't go into a lot of other details though, so it's been a learning experience. They didn't tell you how to go about arranging it. They didn't tell you what to watch for and what to check, and you know, even everything that's actually required, step by step. They also didn't tell you how to arrange it in such a way that uses your hours in the most economical way. So all those things we kind of had to learn as we went along. So hopefully you get something out of this video that helps you move ahead on that learning curve, learning from my mistakes. One thing I learned is you call ahead. When you're about a half an hour away from the place where you want to get it done, call ahead. And you can only get it done at Love's and TA's where they have service bays. A lot of those truck stops don't even have a service bay, so you got to check that first. And you want to call before you get there. Don't pull in and waste your time going to the place and saying, "Oh, can you do it?" And they say no. Now you got to get back on the road, unless you were planning to stop there anyway. But I like to call ahead because I want to plan my stops and make the best use of my time. So I'll wait until I'm about a half an hour away. And also keep in mind that the Loves do their service at their Speedco shops And those are not always located right at the Love's truck stop. It might be across the street, it might be a block away, it might be on the other side of the interstate. So check the location too. And what you want to do in that phone call is tell them exactly what you need. You need trailer maintenance and a DOT inspection on the trailer. The DOT inspection must be performed by a mechanic. Is your mechanic on duty and on the premises? Because a lot of times we pulled into places and they said, oh, our mechanic, yeah, he's on duty. Oh, but he's out on a road call. He's looking after a guy who's broke down somewhere 50 miles away. He'll be back in a couple hours though, don't you worry. Well, I'm not going to sit there for a couple hours waiting for the guy to show up, and if he has trouble with the repair, it could be even longer, right? So you want to ask these questions. And the other question you want to ask is, how many guys are in line ahead of you? Are they working on a truck now in the bay? Are there 3 other guys on the list? So what is the estimated or approximate time that you're going to get to me? Is it going to be in half an hour? Is it going to be in 4 or 5 hours? Sometimes it's been like, no, we can't get to you until like noon tomorrow. I'm like, okay, not a problem. It's not like I'm broken down. I'll just head on down the road and we'll call the next place and see if they got time for us. It's not a big deal. And CRETE isn't telling you have to get this done. They're saying if you can get it done, if it works with your schedule or whatever, fit it in. We'd really appreciate it. Okay, that's good. So what happened at this place was we called ahead and I told them exactly what I needed, and they said, come on in. We're open. There's nobody in line ahead of you. I was so happy. I pulled up to the place. I checked in with them. They said, bay number 1. I pulled right in. Okay. Waited about 20 minutes. Nothing happened. That's normal, because what happens then is the shop has to send the request to CRETE asking if they can go ahead and do the work, and the maintenance department at CRETE says, go ahead, you'll get paid, don't worry. And they want to make sure they're getting paid before they start the work, and I can understand that too. So about 20 minutes goes by. Finally somebody gets underneath the trailer, stuff's happening, stuff's moving around, whatever. Then it stops, and now I've been there like more than an hour and nothing else is happening. I went into the office and was talking to the guy there. I says, is the inspection done? It seemed a little weird, because usually there's, step on the brake, let's see the lights, blah, blah, blah. Nothing had happened. So I was starting to get a little concerned. Fella says, oh no, our mechanic hasn't showed up yet, but he'll be here soon. I said, what's soon? He said, well, maybe another hour. I'm thinking, oh great. Now I can't say forget it, I'll head on down the road and do it somewhere else, because now they've already started. They've done the maintenance part. They've gotten the okay for the work, which means they're going to get paid for an inspection, which means they're going to want to do that inspection, which means I'm going to sit here and wait for this guy who hasn't even shown up for work yet. And I wish I'd known that before I pulled into bay number 1, because I would have said, see you later. I'll try somebody else. So I did not check specifically that the mechanic was present on the premises and on duty. That was my mistake, I guess. To my thinking, though, they could have told me that before I pulled in, when I told them exactly what I needed. Nobody mentioned that the guy that is going to do the work isn't even at work. So another hour and a half goes by. Then the fella starts on the inspection. He didn't seem to be in much of a hurry. He stopped and went outside and had a cigarette a couple of times, stood there talking on his phone. Finally got around to finishing. Then we signed the paperwork, and it was, like I said, it was 4 hours total out of my day, not making any money, and I wasn't happy. So remember these points. If you're working for CRETE, you're doing the T-1 inspections, plan ahead, and it can be a good use of your time. It's only taking us an hour in some places, and you would go and take a shower during that time. You might be stopping there for fuel. You're going to be using the bathroom, or maybe buying some food or whatever. It's not a problem stopping there for an hour while the T1 is done, and you get other things done. And maybe you got to take your 30 anyway. You had to take a break at some point during the day. So you can plan all that in and make the best use of your time. Call ahead about a half an hour. Don't call this place like 2 hours before you're there, because a bunch of other trucks might line up ahead of you, right? So just before you get there, call, say, do you have a mechanic on duty who can do a DOT inspection on my trailer? I need an inspection and I need the maintenance done on the trailer. How many guys are ahead of me? And then you'll know whether it's worth stopping, whether you'll get in and out of there quick, or if it's going to take all day, then you can just head on down the road. Try the next place and do the same thing. So that's all I have to say about that. Hope you got something out of this, so give us a thumbs up, comments down below, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you down the road.